If you're Logan, what are you looking for?
You want to get these fast combo kills. The thing about Tron is with access to Karn Liberated, they can restart the game. They don't really care a ton about you gaining the arbitrarily large amount of life, but it's that murderous red cap kill. That's what Logan's going to try to do. And if he doesn't have it, he's going to try to manage his resources to just kill Michael in combat and not lose to Oblivion Stone.
Michael Stone will be Urza's Tower into Chromatic Star, first play of the game. So we go back over to Logan. Temple Garden tapped. Stone will crack the star, presumably for green mana. He draws a basic forest, plays Ancient Stirrings. I like how the deck can get all 3 Tron pieces as its first land and still make colored mana on the way. So he finds Urza's Mine, and he'll play it. 2 down, 1 to go.
Halfway there.
That is more than halfway there, actually.
Let me double check my math.
I suppose it could be an inclusive quantity.
I'm sure that those words mean something to you in that order.
Halfway just implies at least half, you know?
Okay.
It's like if I looked out at the beach and I'd said, there must be dozens of grains of sand here.
there sure are.
I'm not wrong. I'm just not being helpful. Turn 2 for Logan will be Anafenza Kintree Spirit.
That's one of our combo pieces, so things are more or less going the way that Logan wants them to. However, he really is hoping that Stone does not assemble Tron on his 3rd turn.
If Logan kept a hand on the draw of just turn 2 Anafenza Kintree Spirit, nothing else, is it reasonable to think that he's got all the combo pieces, or he's close? Like, this hand doesn't seem keepable otherwise.
You would probably be seeing the Viscera Seer on turn 1 if that was the sacrifice outlet for this combo. So could be something like Anafenza Kitchen Finks Collected Company.
Or what if it's like he has Finks and Cord both in his hand?
Yes, that's also an option.
He'd probably keep that even though it's slow. It's a turn 4. It's a turn 4 combo, right?
Correct. That hand is very keepable.
Now here's an interesting one. Looking at Michael's deck list, do you know offhand, is it possible if Logan gains infinite life, is it game over for Michael?
Well, there's actually 2 ways to win this game. I spoke of Karn Liberated resetting the game, but we can also just mill Logan by attacking him a couple times with Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger and exiling his library.
Michael's turn 3, not the dreaded Tron. He played Ghost Quarter and Oblivion Stone for the turn.
We should petition to have the archetype name changed to the dreaded Tron.
The dreaded Tron?
Let's see if we can get some traction on that. Hashtag the dreaded Tron.
It will be a Windswept Teeth cracked for Logan on his 3rd turn. Here's Overgrown Tomb. Logan putting all his Shocklands into play untapped. No concerns about life points here.
Yeah, well, while Mize might just randomly win this game with creature beats over the course of the game, there's no such concern from the Tron deck. Take all the damage. Don't even cast spells. Just play them untapped. You'll be fine.
Believe we do have both Court of Calling and Kitchen Finks in hand. So turn 4, we're looking at infinite life. Now the infinite damage combo is a concern. Yeah, here's Kitchen Finks. Logan goes to 16. If I was in the Tron player seat, I would just assume that the combo's online right now.
Yes. I would certainly be making plays as if that were going to happen on the following turn if I had any option.
Anafenza bolsters up to a 3/3. So we go back to Stone. Draws another Urza's Mine. It's close to what he's looking for, but not exactly there.
Shout out to Michael Stone for matching arts on those mines. We appreciate you, my friend.
He will play the mine and pass the turn. So remember, it takes 5 mana to activate Oblivion Stone. So infinite life could happen here. But as I said before, that's not game over.
No. We have to get the damage in. We have to actually kill Michael. That said, the Seer finds the red cap by scrying your entire library. The issue is the Oblivion Stone should be online for Michael on the following turn.
Swings with both creatures. And Michael will take damage. Now, if Logan finds a Malira and an Anafenza for the combo, he can grow his creatures arbitrarily large. So if we had Viscera Seer Malira in turn, he could. That is also an infinite damage combo.
Correct.
Because the Kitchen Finks persists back every time, but you can use the bolster trigger on something else. You can pump all your creatures, and you can... Yeah.
Logan's really hoping that Michael just does something on his turn. That ended up not being the case, but he wanted to just be able to cast Court of Calling and find his combo on Michael's end step.
5th land for Michael is going to leave up the Oblivion Stone, and here is the end step Collected Company for Logan. He's got the Melira now. Now, of note, if Logan had done this main phase, I believe there is a Seer and a Melira in here. Logan could have won.
Yeah, he could have made that arbitrarily large creature and just ran across for lethal damage on that turn. Now, there's no way of guaranteeing that.
Right. He'll find Kitchen Finks plus Viscera Seer.
And Logan's hand, as you can see, he has at least Collected Company on top of this, so there's gas left in the tank. He didn't have to do anything like desperate, like just main phase that Collected Company to try to find that line.
So he's going to go ahead and gain he's going to start sacrificing the Kitchen Finks. Each trigger, he will gain 2 life and get to scry 1. He can do this as many times as he wants. Even if Michael cracks Oblivion Stone in response, Logan can just keep doing it.
Correct. And now you get to do the visual shortcut. You pick up your library, you maintain the order, but you shift things so the card that you want to draw is on top of the library.
Yeah, what he's doing here is he's scrying. He first scries one 60 times, so he sees his whole deck, and then he can just keep doing it until to put the decks in whichever card he really order. He can cut to the deck to whatever card he wants.
Right. Mize's life total is now at least 3 9s. That's just kind of a placeholder. Apparently we don't have access to Sideways 8, though that is somewhat disingenuous to actually do that.
We actually just the 4th digit. We don't have access to.
It was a bit over.
We don't know
budget.
how it works. Yeah, we only can afford three numbers.
Well, the issue is we can only afford that much blue space, and to have the numbers bleed into the black, it just wouldn't make sense. It'd be difficult.
You'd
to
have to buy more blue space.
Right.
That stuff's not cheap.
And the number on top of that. It's a budgetary nightmare.
And now here's Oblivion Stone. It'll be cracked.
Mize knew this was coming.
All right. So the way you said Michael wins, Ulamog can mill Logan, and Karn can restart the game. Those were the 2 you'd mentioned?
Yes.
Look at Logan's hand. Anafenza, Collected Company, Court of Calling. Yeah, I think he can rebuild.
Certainly.
So every creature will die. The 2 Kitchen Finks will persist back as 2/1s. Put Logan. Logan will gain 4. He'd be at 1,003, but like we said, technology concerns. Michael's at 11. I like Michael did this during Logan's upkeep so that the Finks cannot attack.
Yes.
Which is well played on Stone's part. And it looks like Logan chose to scry a Court of Calling to the top of the deck. He has Eternal. He has just about everything. Eternal Witness, Court of Calling, Collected Company, another Court of Calling. We think infinite damage combo 1 turn away, 2 turns away.
It looks to be 1 turn away. Though Michael's at 11. We could just do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I mean, he can Eternal Witness for Viscera Seer, play Viscera Seer, say go, then untap and do all this again.
Players in the 3 p.m.
Here's the Eternal Witness.
For round number 1 have been posted. Please check the
Looks like he's going to get a fetch land with it.
Yeah.
That makes some sense too.
Right. This enable him to activate Gavany Township on future turns. Also, just 4 mana is not the amount of mana he wants to be working with. With those expensive spells in his hand, the Collected Company and the Court of Callings on top of that, he wants to have access to more mana.
He'll go ahead and crack the fetch land. Might as well put it into play untapped.
If it was right before, it's super right now. Now, of course, Logan Mize was technically on 1,003, so he's going to maintain that 999 life total.
Yeah. Now he's not took 3, so he's at 1,000.
Yes.
He'll swing the 2 Finks. We need to, yeah, those are, yeah, we're correct. Those are played during it was cracked during upkeep. So Logan will play Anafenza. Now keep in mind he has a Court of Calling, so you can go get another Viscera Seer. Those Finks, though, they don't persist back because they already had a counter on them, except...
That would be true.
Oh, wow. No, you're right.
If not for this Anafenza, which on the Seer entering the battlefield will bolster one of the Finks.
So he has the infinite life, infinite scry combo again, just immediately?
He's just going to do that every turn until Michael dies.
We go back to Stone. He has an expedition map he's drawn. This is interesting. He can get Tron, but he also can get Grove with the Burn Willows to cast this Pyroclasm, which he might need to do.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
You'd really like to get the Tron pieces, but yeah, if he's tapping towers, he's not getting Tron.
He could get Tron, use the Ghost Quarter he has in play to turn one of his extra mines into a red source and cast the Pyroclasm that way.
He doesn't play a basic mountain.
Oh, so that turns off
yeah,
that
that
line.
would be. That's why you're right, and that's a great. It's a great line. So that's he's an expedition map for Grove of the Burn Willows.
That's awkward.
That's got to hurt, right? You have 2 Tron pieces. Said, man, I mean, great play by Michael. First of all, most people just. It'd be tough to resist the temptation to just get that Tron piece.
Right. The basic mountain's almost never going to matter. This is a corner case where this is going to hurt him.
Pyroclasm. Yeah, Logan's not going to chord in response to that. That's fine.
Yeah, just getting a Viscera Seer to die, not very exciting, and he has got plenty of gas left in the tank yet.
Draws Orzhov Pontiff. Has to reload. He does have, I mean, he's a little low on things. He has Chord, Company, Pontiff. And the graveyard has 2 Anafenzas in it. So now I'm starting to count. He doesn't have any more Anafenzas. He does have Malairas. So that's fine. But as Michael continues to sweep the board, this may start to matter.
Yep, there's 4 Eternal Witness as well. One of them was already cast, but access to plenty more in the library.
A power plant, so Tron assembled by Michael. And now he will tap 8 mana worth of Tron pieces to cast Sundering Titan. This is huge.
Yes, so Sundering Titan is one that you may not be familiar with.
Oh, this one's great. I like this card. I play it in Cube a lot.
Yes.
Because it's not very nice. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a land of each basic land type, then destroy them. So you're going to get 3 of Logan's lands here.
An ability that triggers on enter the battlefield and
leaving. Yeah. So you don't want to kill it either if you're Logan.
So currently, Stone has no lands with basic land types.
Yeah.
And we look
Man, that's a rough life. You guess you can't choose any of your own lands.
Yeah, that's really too bad. You have to destroy only your opponent's lands. And with all these Ravnica duels, he's able to target Temple Garden as a forest or a plains, line up a different land as the one that he didn't choose, and get rid of 3 lands this way.
So he can choose Temple Garden as forest, Temple Garden, the other Temple Garden as plains, and he could choose either the Godless Shrine or the Overgrown Tomb as a swamp.
Correct. Leaves the Gavany Township behind, but nowhere near enough mana to activate it anyway.
So that's what he will do. He will go ahead and destroy 3 of Logan's lands, leaving him with Temple Garden plus Gavany Township. Now, Logan has floated mana off this to cast what I believe is the Collected Company in his hand.
Right. As we pass phases, likely we see that one getting cast because Logan's just going to lose the mana. He won't have 4 mana on his following turn, even with the land drop. And then Stone should be able to cast that Pyroclasm on the second main phase.
So here's that Collected Company. Logan on his, can he assemble combos for a 3rd time?
Well, he found some avenues to make some mana.
Yeah, Eternal Witness and Noble Hierarch will be his choices. Maybe with Witness now he can find just about any combo piece. He'll take Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, all right, get the mana rolling again.
Yeah, didn't have a land drop to make next turn, so it founds a Hierarch, which works as a mana source, and then gets the land back, so he'll be able to have access to 4 mana for, say, another Collected Company.
What I like is Sundering Titan's a 7/10, but Logan, I mean, he is at a large life total, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that creature basically has Defender. You technically could attack, but you just should not.
Now Michael will play Thought Not Seer. He'll go ahead and exile away a Chord of Calling, leaving Logan with Orzhov Pontiff, Chord of Calling, Overgrown Tomb.
Yeah, the Pontiff's just a blank in this matchup. It's a 1/1 for 3.
You know, we can't trigger it 10 times. to get rid of that Sundering Titan. Well, we don't want to kill Sundering Titan, so that would be why we don't want to do it. Logan will pass the turn. Now it's on Michael. Can he exile Logan's deck, perhaps?
So this is where not having Eye of Ugin hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, he could just go get the Eye of Ugin. That would go get Emrakul.
Right.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
Ulamog.
now he just needs to specifically naturally draw his cards that can win the game here, and he doesn't have things like Sylvan Scrying to find Eye of Ugin.
So he attacked with Sundering Titan. I'm not... and now plays Platinum Empyrean. This is another one of his one-ofs. So instead of playing Eye of Ugin, what Michael Stone has done is he's just played more big creatures than you'd normally expect. Platinum Empyrean, the mythic rare from Scars of Mirrodin, is an 8/8 for 8 with the ability your life total can't change. So a lot like Platinum Angel, in that you really can't lose the game without this guy being gone. Now, it's uniquely not very good against Logan's infinite damage combo.
Yes. You can still damage the Empyrean. So you can just put 8 on that guy,
and then go up.
And then go upstairs from there. So the Sundering Titan attacking, still not accomplishing much, but now it just doesn't matter. But we have the infinite established for Mize now.
All right.
We called up somebody at HQ. Saw if we could get that in the budget.
We turned an 8 on its side. It's good.
There is a story. You hear it told at Minnesota PTQs of a player who was playing life combo in an old extended against a Goblins player. And the life combo went off, and the Goblins player said, "What are you going to set your life to?" And the life player said, "I don't know, 1,000." And then the Goblins player killed them with Goblin Pile Driver.
There's no way. You can't do that much damage.
I don't know. We have 17 power on the board. Right? No, you have 15 power on the board.
How many turns of attacking?
I don't know, a lot.
Because we'll be up front. 60 turns of attacking at 15 power is not enough. That's not 1,000. That's 900. You gotta go more. You gotta get bigger.
I just wanted to tell that lovely story.
I look at me just hating all the fun. I'm just bringing math into it.
Modern Challenge. Your pairings for round number 3 have been posted. Please make your way to the side events pairings board. Again, Modern Challenge players, your round 3 pairings have been posted.
Back over for Logan. He goes ahead and chords and gets Malira. Building back up toward that. He needs to find, it's just the infinite damage combo, I would think. Here looks to be another Eternal Witness. Logan has enough Chord of Callings, I believe, to put this together. He'll get Viscera Seer. Wait, can he do it all right now? No, he'll pass. He casts the Viscera Seer, but he has another chord in his hand, I believe.
Yeah, we're shy of the persist creature or a way to make it on this turn, so we're threatening to untap and do
win.
it again.
It's Murderous Redcap is the last piece.
Yes.
So Michael will need another sweeper of some sort. This next one should do it, I think. Here's Ghost Quarter for Michael Stone. He's going to go ahead and tap tower to play in Crack Expedition map, getting more Tron, but that's not going to help. Not right now.
We want a Karn, we want an Ulamog. Some way to sacrifice our own Sundering Titan would be great.
Sure, that would get, yeah. If Logan has, he needs 7 lands plus creatures to chord for Murderous Redcap. So we go back over to Logan. I believe he has this.
Yeah, this looks to be rolled up from here.
What a crazy game. Can Logan build the combo for the 3rd time? Well, here's Chord of Calling. He's going to try to do it.
Yeah, Michael has ways to win through arbitrarily large life totals, but the haymakers that he drew simply weren't those cards.
All right, so here's Murderous Redcap, and here's how the combo works. Viscera Seer sacrifices Murderous Redcap. It comes back, but without a 1/1 counter on it because Malira stops that from happening, so he can sacrifice it again and again. It'll deal 2 damage every time it enters the battlefield, so he will deal 8 to the Platinum Empyrean, 4 triggers. Then once that's gone, he'll do 6 more to Michael, and that'll end the game.
Yep, we finally set it up. Logan went for that combo 4 times that game, something like that. He went off many times, and then he finally got there on that turn with the red cap.
One sweeper too few for Stone, but very close game on both sides. We're going to go ahead and look at the sideboards here. So we'll start on Michael Stone's green-red Tron deck. So yeah, it's copies of Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, Fog, Life from the Loam, Nature's Claim, Relic of Progenitus, Seagate Wreckage, Spellskite, and Thragtusk.
Relic of Progenitus is surprisingly good in matchups like this. There's a lot of Eternal Witness on my side, persist creatures when they're in the graveyard. With the trigger on the stack, you can exile them that way. I like that quite a bit.
So you can't actually combo through a Relic of Progenitus on the battlefield?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else that we like?
Not really. I mean, I would love to see an Emrakul hit the battlefield. I just don't think that it's good enough. Yeah, annihilating, taking extra turns, all sweet things. It would buy you more time in that game, but it's not a card that actually necessarily wins you the game, say if Mize already has infinite life. Though I guess on the battlefield, you get to annihilate him every turn, and that'll buy you all the time that you need, but getting to 15 mana is no short order.
All right, we're going to look at Logan Mize's sideboard. He has 4 copies of Tide Hollow Sculler, 3 Abrupt Decay, and 3 Path to Exile, so a lot of disruption here. And then it's some one-ofs, one of Kasali Pridemage, Pharika God of Affliction, 1 Reclamation Sage, 1 Aven Mind Sensor, and 1 Eidolon of Rhetoric.
Aven Mind Sensor is good to shut off things like Sylvan Scrying, Expedition Map. It can help you a lot in those battles. I like Tide Hollow Sculler. You really want to stop Michael from having anything like his big haymakers and getting those on time. Those are the big ones here. Qasali Pridemage is fine here. You can shut off an Oblivion Stone if Michael has to play it and doesn't pop it at the same turn. So I like that as another tutor target here. And Reclamation Sage, again, for the same reason. So that's basically what we're going to be seeing here on Mize's side.
Players are going to get ready for game number 2 here. Logan Mize, 18th on our leaderboard. You know him, he's actually been in both of our Players' Championships. Really quite the Obzon aficionado, and has a lot of great results to go with it. We're going to take a second to talk about SCG Regionals, however. So if you didn't have a chance to play in states last week, I actually got to do that one. We have these every Pro Tour weekend. Star City Games hosts a state or regional championships. So during Pro Tour Eldritch Moon, we're going to be running Star City Games Regional Championships here. So we have a lot of things going on that weekend. First of all, we have an exclusive playmat that will be given away to all competitors during the weekend. And we see here we have custom art here from Star City Games. I believe we have a nice pun name for the goblin here.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Ugh, not again. Okay. So, you can get this great goblin on a token and a playmat for attending StarCityGames.com regionals.
This is the best ever.
For exclusive playmat to the first 200 players, so be sure to pre-register for these. They're happening all over the country. Space, last time at Region, these were very popular when they happened at the winter regionals, so for summer regionals, this is at the end of the summer, August 6th. Be sure to pre-register for this one, happening all over the country.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like Matt Tickle, showing up unable to play the event. Should have pre-registered, Matt. Make sure you get your seat.
We'll have that and more. So those are coming up, the regional championships of Season 2. Find out locations near you and registering when they're open. StarCityGames.com/regionals. So go to game 2. Now, with both players having light sideboards this matchup, it feels like what the game is about is, can Logan put the combo together and can Michael stop that?
Definitely, that's exactly what we're going to see unfold. That's all that game 1 was about. Michael had these disruptive elements. I almost said cute disruptive elements, but Sundering Titan's kind of far from that being an apt description. But the fact of the matter is it didn't stop Logan from winning the game. It only set him back.
Turn 1 Chromatic Sphere from Stone. Well, what's interesting to me is that Logan's draw was fairly slow that game. He'll start on Noble Hierarch. So we go back over to Stone. He will crack the Chromatic Sphere, play Urza's Tower, and play Sylvan Scrying. So, okay, we'll have turn 3 Tron if we want it.
Right, there will be no question of that this game.
There's the power plant. All right, all 3 pieces, easy enough.
No land destruction for Mize. This is just going to happen.
So no Fulminators or anything like that.
No, a lot of players just kind of operating under the assumption that Tron is dead.
Well, 4-0 Michael Stone would disagree. For Logan, his turn 2 play will be Eternal Witness. Just getting back the land.
Well, this is exactly what you want with your modern deck, right? You want people to believe that your deck is bad. That means they don't have the sideboard cards that are good. That means you get to walk in and have a great weekend. This is kind of the Dredge phenomenon from Legacy. Periodically, people just forgot about the graveyard, then Dredge would come along and just spike and open. And we're kind of seeing that with Tron right now. So now we know we have Tron. Do we have a Karn?
Yeah, turn 3 Tron, what's your payoff spell? All right, so Tron assembled, and yeah, turn 3 Karn Liberated on the play. It's one of the scarier things out of the Tron deck. And we'll see whether he hits a land or whether he just goes upstairs. He's gonna go for the cards in Logan's hand. Karn will go up to 10.
Yeah, the issue with going for a land is the Eternal Witness with the Exalted trigger for the Hierarch can crack back and kill the Karn on the following turn. You could go for one of the creatures, but that's not a very good payoff on your Karn.
Logan will exile a forest to the Karn, and we go back to Logan's turn. Under the pressure of the Planeswalker, we'll see just what he can put together. He has more Eternal Witness, and it looks like a Malira as part of the combo. Sure. Eternal Witness will attack Karn down to 7.
That never feels good.
Karn is so very loyal.
Well, I think a lot of that loyalty stems from the fact that Karn is a pacifist. He won't fight back. He'll just kind of do what you tell him.
Right, but that was a problem on Mirrodin. He didn't defend Mirrodin from the Phyrexians.
Good point.
Another card out of Logan's hand, fed to the Karn. Logan played a copy of Malira Sylvok Outcast for the turn. And things are looking great here for Stone. He's got both Relic of Progenitus and Pyroclasm in hand. So he's going to use 3 mana, play Chromatic Star, crack it for any color of mana, and now cast Pyroclasm. That'll take care of Logan's whole board. And this feels like lights out for Logan Mize.
This is going to be extremely difficult to recover from. I think if you're Logan, your only hope is that Michael maybe tries to get a little bit fancy and restarts the game with Karn when really he could just be exiling all of Logan's permanents slowly. And he could maybe whiff if he restarted the game. Weird to say that a Planeswalker's ultimate is what you're rooting for your opponent to do.
Right.
But if that Karn just sticks around and keeps using its +4 and -3, this game is very quickly becoming impossible for Logan to come back from.
Michael follows up with Relic and Expedition Map. He gets 1 card in Logan's graveyard. Now, it's interesting. Michael missed his land drop there. He could have cracked Expedition Map to go get a land drop for the turn, but instead he's just hoping to leave up more mana maybe for cards like Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah, we're leaving up the activation for the Progenitus, but if we found a land, we could just activate that anyway.
Logan's going to play Eternal Witness. In response, Michael will crack that Relic of Progenitus. No card back for Logan. I was a little surprised he just didn't let him have it, but...
Yeah, it wouldn't have especially mattered, but the Relic's not getting better as the game progresses. He's just trying to shut the door.
The Relic serves as insurance against the combo. But, I mean, with this active Karn, it's a long ways away from a combo happening.
Right.
So we go back to Michael Stone. 2 cards are in Logan's hand. Stone's trying to decide what he wants Karn to do. He'll go for another card in Logan's hand, and for the 3rd straight turn, it will be a land. Temple Garden fed to Karn. Now Michael will crack Expedition Map. He keeps on going. So how does Michael end the game then? I mean, this seems like a great board state for him. I don't mean a Karn with 15 loyalty. Okay, that's never going away.
Right. The Karn itself will not end the game. The destructive power that Karn has is to restart the game. But Michael is eventually going to be able to draw just any creature with power or toughness, his copy of Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and that will kill Logan while the Karn stops Logan from getting beyond land 1.
Ghost Quarter was found off Expedition Map for Stone. And he's... So that's an answer, I guess, to the Gavony Township.
Yeah, it turns out turns off Township, and really, there aren't other great lands. With the Eye of Ugin out of the deck, we're looking at another Tron piece or a colored mana source.
Okay, so this is just the best land to get.
Yeah, it just turns out that the package beyond just finding your Tron is not very exciting anymore.
Go back to Logan and draw here. Has a Horizon Canopy and a Tide Hollow Sculler. We'll play Canopy. Attack, I suppose, Karn. So you think, given the choice, Michael won't restart the game?
I would be amazed if Michael did. I certainly would not. I would expect him not to.
Let's play this game. This one, we've won this one. Let's not restart with a new one.
Also, we're getting into territory where players should be concerned about time.
Yeah, 20 minutes remaining here.
Further, if Michael was trying to restart the game, there's a good chance we'd see him first start putting his own haymakers under Karn, something like a second Karn by +4 targeting himself.
Sure. Tide Hollow Sculler is the play for Logan. It's his last card. We will see 3 lands in Michael's hand. A Sylvan Scrying. It's got one other hiding there.
The scrying itself is certainly not very exciting.
Yeah, that's what Logan's taking. Not too many great options. We're just waiting for Michael to draw some way to win the game. Looks like Life from the Loam, perhaps.
Okay, so Michael doesn't know that Logan doesn't have Fulminator Mage or anything like that.
Well, he could also just loam the Ghost Quarter every turn and start getting Logan's permanents that way.
You're not wrong.
You're saying he doesn't need to?
Right, I would be leaving that on the sideboard if that was our plan in this matchup.
So Karn will now -3 to exile the Tide Hollow Sculler. Get the Sylvan Scrying back into Michael's hand. Karn now down to just a low 10 loyalty.
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
So the Eternal Witness will be able to deal with it in 5 short turns.
If Michael misses triggers, yes. For a lot of turns. Then all Logan has to do is hope that Michael doesn't draw another Karn.
So Logan's odds in this game are between slim and none, but we are definitely seeing the impact of the removal of Eye of Ugin from this deck. There are multiple tutors that could have found Eye of Ugin. Eye of Ugin could have found something that actually wins the game instead of this Karn that's just kind of dragging everything
Michael's
out.
Sylvan Scrying just got a Grove of the Burn Willows, you mean?
Yeah, and the Expedition map for Ghost Quarter in this matchup.
Are you saying it would have been better if it was for Eye of Ugin?
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying.
It sounds like you're following. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Eye of Ugin here. But nonetheless, Michael is still winning.
You're not wrong.
It's not changing the outcome of the game. Certainly it's less powerful, but it's going to get there.
Right.
I'd be shocked if Logan comes back. It just takes longer.
Had Logan drawn better, if instead of
just running collected companies,
he's
maybe?
thrown a bunch of lands under this Karn, and he controlled 5 before he cracked that Horizon Canopy. If those were just collected companies.
Yeah. Return of Witness will swing Karn down to 8. So yeah, Logan, I think he drew collected company. So of note, if Logan, say, collected companies into 2 combo pieces and then top decks the 3rd, then I'll tell you what, I'm going to be off Tron forever until I have, like if Michael loses this game because of that, it's going to be because Eye of Ugin's banned.
Yes. I'm kind of an off Tron forever kind of person anyway, but that would certainly drive it home.
A plus of Karn takes the Tide Hollow Sculler from Logan's hand. So now the cards under the Karn are 2 Scullers, 3 lands, I believe. It's happened 5 times.
It's a lot of nonsense.
But yeah, there's a collected company in Logan's hand. If this hits well with a good top deck, like say it hits Eternal Witness combo piece or 2 combo pieces, this could work. This Logan could win here. It's really gross. But
this is absurd.
Eternal Witness, Kitchen Finks. Okay, Eternal Witness can get back collected company. Hold on.
This is actually still a game of Magic. It's obscene.
Yeah, all right. Logan draws for turn. Birds of Paradise. Well, that's not going to work. I wonder if does he just spin the company now and see what happens? It could maybe win.
We know that the Karn is going to have to...
Yeah, Karn attacked down to 5. It took 7.
The Karn's likely going for a -3 next turn. We know Mize doesn't know. There's another Karn in Michael's hand.
Well, of course there's another Karn. There's always another Karn.
I like sitting on the company to maybe find Viscera Seer in response to the Karn exiling the Kitchen Finks.
All right. So we're back to Stone. I think he has a Pyroclasm. Okay, that will help.
That's good as well.
But it doesn't win. Logan has another company in hand. Karn will +9, exiling Birds of Paradise. Here's Relic of Progenitus. Okay, now Michael's insured against the combo again.
Okay.
And this is kind of actually going back to when Michael cracked the Relic for the first time, is why I was a little skeptical of that. Was, so remember I said if Logan had competed into 2 combo pieces and drawn the 3rd, the game would have been over?
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to crack this Relic ever, because I don't want that happening.
It's also true that it's been a very long time that Michael hasn't drawn a Haymaker, so that extra card theoretically helped him dig closer to finding something that's not just this anemic Karn, but you're right. He left himself vulnerable to a combo, potentially.
Here's a Pyroclasm. All the creatures die. Now there will be a Persist trigger from Kitchen Finks. Michael's going to exile the graveyard. What are your thoughts on that?
So we're only stopping a 2-1 from coming back. If
Michael's at 20.
If Mize, say, collected companies into Eternal Witness, he can get the Kitchen Finks back with that or something like that. I don't know.
Well, we can't see. So now everything's exiled. But Logan end step casts Collected Company. He gets Anafenza, Kindred Spirit, and Kitchen Finks. This is all in response. This was all in response. He did this in response to the exiling in case he found an Eternal Witness.
Right.
Like if he draws Viscera Seer,
then he's just.
Then he wins.
He's at sideways 8 again.
Yes. And Michael should not be cracking this Relic of Progenitus.
He doesn't win though. Because he draws Viscera Seer on his turn, goes to arbitrarily large. Michael untaps and Karns away the sacrifice outlet, right?
Yeah, but Logan gets to stack the top of his deck. I mean, I'm
right. We're still playing, but it's not. The
okay, it's
game's
not game
over,
but it's bad. So now we go to Michael. It's still his turn. Yeah, these relics need to be held to stop. Yeah, you know, I will give Logan his 2-1. Don't exile the yard. Okay, now you see some pressure on Michael. He's going to play second Karn. This is still main phase, exiling the Anafenza. It means all those exiled cards that he had accrued all game, those are done. It means that Anafenza could maybe kill off this Karn.
Yeah, a bolster trigger or...
Yeah, land, Gavin Township, kill Karn.
Yeah, and that was the backup Karn. Now Michael just needs to draw something.
That seems aggressive to me that we played the second Karn. I liked the 9 loyalty Karn a lot more than the 3 loyalty Karn. I don't know if I wanted to give that up so quickly.
Yeah, the first was more of a company man. That's the kind of guy you want to keep around.
Yeah, he put in his hours. He got, you know, he was real loyal. You can't let him go.
Realistically, he should have been tenured. The idea that you fired that Karn is absurd.
And you hired him with a temp?
Yeah.
Like, just unconscionable. But the draw for Michael's good here. It's Oblivion Stone. If you want insurance plans against really getting comboed, Oblivion Stone will do a great job. Michael can sit on this Oblivion Stone for a while, too, and start fate countering his permanents.
Well, he only has lands right now, so there's nothing to put fate counters on just yet.
Well, if he had a 9 loyalty Karn, I would have liked putting a fate counter on it. I'm sorry. Okay, that's...
We might have beaten that one to death.
All right. And I still think this is a great spot for Stone. A Township activation for Logan back on his turn puts 4 power on the Anafenza. Michael will take his first damage and go to 16. It'll put a fate counter on itself. That does something if he plays another Oblivion Stone.
True.
That's it, but it's not completely dead. Draw for Michael. He's got another mine. More Tron. That first stack of 3 is 1 of each Tron, so you can think about that being 7 mana. He'll now play Thrag Tusk, putting himself up to 21. That one seems really good here. He needed something like this.
That one is acceptable. It's several levels behind the other haymakers in his deck. Ulamog, excellent. Another Karn, excellent. even the Sundering Titan would be great here. The
Platinum
Thragtusk,
Empyrean, Wormcoil Engine, any of them.
yeah, the Thragtusk is just fine. This isn't a red deck that he's playing against.
Well, he can put a Fate counter on it and then crack his Oblivion Stone someday, and then he'll have a Thragtusk.
Yeah, and then we're just 5 turns away from lethal damage.
It's not the best.
Yes.
But it could work.
It's acceptable. It's much better than what he's been top decking up to this point. All of those lands off the top, the Sylvan Scryings, they're worse than if he, just drew Thragtusk a couple draw steps earlier.
A swing from Anafenza. Michael will offer a trade with Thragtusk. So Thragtusk down, Beast Token will come incoming, Anafenza down.
Yeah, and Michael knows that Thragtusk is not the haymaker that he needs. He's fine just blocking there, and now he still has the Oblivion Stone active.
Wall of Roots, Viscera Seer, those are the plays for Mize. He'll pass. Fate counter on the Beast token. I like it. And Ghost Quarter the draw.
So we're actually getting in territory where we can start Ghost Quartering Logan Mize out of ever casting spells.
Yeah, he's going to Ghost Quarter the Gavany Township. You mean that loam in his hand? You're looking at that?
Yeah, just the issue is drawing the loam every turn's pretty terrible.
If the way we win this game is by Ghost Quartering Logan's lands every turn and then beating him up with a 3/3, it's going to be the saddest Tron win I've ever seen. If it's just 8 hits of a 3/3 and you Ghost Quarter Logan into 0 lands, crack an O-Stone, and beat him up with a 3/3, that is not the playbook, okay?
If it was any deck but Tron, I'd think, okay, this is kind of cool. If this is like a Sultai control deck that was pulling this off, but the fact that it's Tron, it's like, wow, what happened to you?
Like, where did...
Man, my high school friend used to drive a Corvette, but he just showed up in like this broken down Volkswagen, and we went to Applebee's for dinner, and he only got appetizers, and I'm not sure if he's okay. Like,
oh man, just Murderous Red Cap is the draw for Logan. That's going to deal some damage. I think upstairs. I don't.
Well, it's not quite enough for the Beast token. We could sacrifice the red cap, get back for an additional point to deal with the Beast token that way.
Then we lose our whole board and start over.
Yes.
If he loses the red cap, winning becomes really hard. Actually, exposing this red cap to removal is somewhat scary. I don't know if I like this. Well, we have to do something. Pyroclasm again from Michael Stone.
Yeah, get that Seer out of here.
How much... Okay, because it's going to matter. When should have Logan scooped this game? Look at the clock here, right?
The first time that I thought about time was approximately 13 minutes ago.
Because if Logan loses this game, there's a very good chance they head for a draw. And I understand that Michael's had a very difficult time killing Logan. But about 15 minutes ago, you said that Logan's chances of winning are slim to none.
Correct. Something that's going through my mind is maybe Logan thinks this matchup is just terrible.
And he's like, draw sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I can even win game 3 anyway. Maybe I can squeak this one out. I won game 1 in rather dramatic and drawn out fashion, right?
He scryed off the Viscera Seer before the Pyroclasm. Now it's an attack for 1 with red cap. He's got Stone down to 20. Yeah, okay. If Stone can just brick on 20 draws, I don't even know. There's another Expedition map. We should find Eye of Ugin with it, but we're not going to because it's banned. He'll play in crack, though. Finding Seagate Wreckage. Okay, that one seems that... I like that technology from Michael Stone.
Yeah, he'll be able to get empty-handed in short order here, though he's got a backup land in hand, so he has to make sure he doesn't just keep drawing lands, but eventually we'll be able to use it to draw 2 cards a turn.
Of all the utility lands to get, I think I could get behind this one. It's in his sideboard, which is a little interesting.
There's a lot of games where you just don't want this card. And
sure,
certainly,
I guess like there's a lot of matchups where this is just miserable.
Right, where you're just trying to Karn on turn 3 or bust. We know against this Kitchen Finks deck, certainly the way game 1 played out, we're settling in for a long game, so I like the records here for sure.
He'll play it. Tide Hollow Sculler from Logan Mize. Yeah, Grove of the Burn Willows is Michael's card. We're in a top deck war against Tron. That's something you never want to do, but maybe it's okay.
And Michael shows the Grove, says, "Do you really think I had a spell?"
Michael drew Sylvan Scrying, so I think actually
we're going to fail to find.
I don't want to find a land, yeah.
No, there's no way. Just get that card out of your hand so you can start activating Wreckage.
He'll play Sylvan Scrying. Now, does Michael know that he can... No, don't show him the land. Ugh. Okay,
Oh,
he
no.
played Urza's Tower. So
Yeah.
interesting... Go ahead.
So the library is a hidden zone. So anytime that you search a library for a specific criteria, you can fail to find.
You could say, I have no lands in my deck, and because in the rules your opponent can't, like, say, show me your deck and prove that, you know?
Right. Yeah, so we could just fail to find, play our land, and then start activating the Wreckage. This is a bit of a misstep on Stone's part.
Yeah, so if he plays it this way, he gets to have Urza's Tower. If he plays the other way, he gets to draw a card.
Correct.
And you're saying a random card is better than Urza's Tower.
Yeah, he already has like 40 mana here.
Okay.
So he only has one card in hand, and it's a land. So the card is definitely worth more than the mana.
We go back over to Mize, a swing for 2 from Sculler. He is just hanging on. He's got Michael to 18. Chromatic Sphere, the play from Michael Stone. So he will play a land, tap a bunch of mana, play Sphere. May activate Wreckage before cracking this Sphere. Yeah, he'll draw a card, empty-handed. Ancient Stirrings, he'll cast it.
Okay, these are finally good draws for Michael.
I mean, Ancient Stirrings, there's got to be something in here, right?
Well, there is something.
How about Ugin the Spirit's Dragon? Got enough mana to cast that one, and that will come into play. It will deal 3 damage to Tide Hollow Sculler. That hits the graveyard. And now, after what it seems like 15 minutes of being unable to close the game, Tron has finally found its win condition.
Right. Ugin the Spirit Dragon often has to enter the battlefield, use the -X ability to clean things up. Anytime the +2 actually just cleans your opponent's board, that card's not going to lose.
I got some style points here. If you have an Ugin at 10 loyalty, are you going to put a die on 6, a die on 2, and a die on 1, and 3 dice on the card? Come on. Come on. You're killing us.
It's all about the dice that I have available, personally. But yeah, those mismatched dice are awkward.
It's more like if you're using 3 dice, I expect the number to be at least 13. Okay, right? If you're going to use 3 dice to represent it. Fair enough. You see the players very quickly sideboarding here. 3 minutes remain, so we are going to stick with the match here as we expect a very short shuffle and presentation from the players. With this kind of time remaining, what can we, it seems unlikely the game will reach a conclusion. What are the players playing? What's our strategies? Who can win?
So what Mize is trying to do, turn 3, go off with Kitchen Finks, find the red cap, win on turn 4, hope that Michael is unable to interact with that.
Even if time is called during turn 2 or 3, as long as Logan has a turn 4 or 5 way to end the game, he can hit it in extra turns, right?
Correct.
What about Michael's side? Okay, we just saw a game that Michael won. He needed more than 5 turns to do it.
You're not wrong. If he drew Haymakers earlier, he could have won faster. But winning in this window is kind of unrealistic.
Well, what if he goes turn 3, Karn, turn 4, Urza's Tower, Ulamog?
That'll do it.
Okay. I don't know if the Ulamogs are still in his deck. My guess is no, based on how much... He's got 3 Ulamogs and 3 Thought-Knot Seers in the main.
He saw a lot of cards that weren't Ulamog.
Or Thought-Knot, so I don't... Yeah, it's... I can't say for certain. It looks like it's not there. Which, this is interesting. So, old Tron sideboard strategies would tell you, in this matchup, go very, very threat light and just win with Eye of Ugin. Can we do that anymore?
I am not convinced that we can.
We just have to keep a bunch of 10s in the deck, and yeah, it's fine. Underway, game 3. 1 minute 30 is where the starting point was. We will let you know when they hit extra turns. For Logan, it's a turn 1 Noble Hierarch. For Michael Stone, it'll be turn 1 Chromatic Sphere. We pass back to Mize.
Mize is on pace for the turn 3 combo, assuming he just has all the pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Finks and Anafenza at the front of his hand. I think the black card is Murderous Redcap, but this is great. Turn 2 Kitchen Finks for Mize. If he has a 3rd land and a Chord of Calling, he can play Anafenza, Chord for 1 for Seer on turn 3.
Yes.
Let's do that. That sounds great.
That's what he needs.
There's a problem, though. Michael's going to draw a card and make a red mana off it on his turn. Well, there's a 2-mana red spell. It's going to be Pyroclasm. Hierarch's dead, Finks is dead, but Finks comes back as a 2-1, gaining Logan 2 life. He's at 18, 40 seconds before time called.
The pyroclasm that drew the match. And that's what Michael needs. You know, he realistically can't win this match. He just needs to have these interactive spells and stop Logan from actually winning. 2 damage
from Finks puts Michael down to 18, evens up the life totals. No third land for Logan, so he'll play a Malira, Sylvok Outcast, and pass back to Michael. That is a combo as long as the Finks was a 3-2.
Correct. With that -1/-1 counter on it, not going to do it. We have to fix that.
All right, Ancient Stirrings from Michael. He finds a land. It's Urza's Tower. That's the Tron piece he missed. He'll have 8 mana next turn. We go back to Mize. He now hits his third land. It is a copy of Horizon Canopy. So a third land in play possible for Logan, but still hard to put the combo together. He won't have it. He'll go back toward damage. 2 creatures swing in. Michael down to 14. Logan's follow-up, Anafenza, Kintree Spirit. Plays the land, leaves up Overgrown Tomb, passes.
The Anafenza will help make that Kitchen Finks back up to a 3-2, but he has to close this game fast.
And time has been called. It was called during Logan's turn. So what that means, Michael's turn right now is turn 1. There'll be Michael will be 1, Logan 2, Michael 3, Logan 4, and Michael's turn 5 will be the last turn of the match.
So Logan has the amount of turns that he needs to win this game. He needs to set up that combo with the Kitchen Finks, and then he needs to figure out the Murderous Red Cap. Or if Michael just does nothing, he can also win this game in combat.
So Michael, we're going to make sure life totals are right here. His first play in extra turns is Thragtusk. Yeah, he was at 14 from the attack. It puts him up to 19. He'll play Map and crack it.
The Thragtusk was not what we were looking for in Game 2.
Not to win, but boy, if to not lose, Thragtusk looks good.
I'm saying in Game 3, this is exactly what we were looking for. I still don't think he can realistically win this game, so the Thragtusk will help him get to turn 5.
So if Logan puts the combo together this next on Logan's turn 2, scries Red Cap to the top, draws it on turn 4, he can win.
Correct.
Actually, Red Cap's in his hand. Correction.
He has Red Cap in hand.
Michael pass back. Logan's turn is turn number 2 here. Big top deck draws a land. I know there was a good luck card shuffle there for Logan. I'm not sure what it was for. Well, hold on here. Logan has Collected Company in hand and Red Cap in hand. End step Companies into Viscera Seer. This isn't even that hard. Logan's going to Collected Company. Top 6 cards. Did he find a Seer? That's what he's looking for.
Yet the Seer would enable him to bolster the Kitchen Finks back to a 3-2 and then be the sacrifice outlet to go off here. The Anafenza plus Malira means that he can make arbitrarily large creatures.
Top 6, he did not find the Seer. He's just going to go for mana. It's Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch for Logan Mize. But 2 bolster triggers will heal the Finks. And we can pick one of those 0-1s, put a counter on. How about Birds?
Yeah, the flyer, whatever.
Abrupt Decay in Logan's hand. I'm actually a little surprised with that one. Maybe to hit Oblivion Stone.
Yeah, it's trying to hit an Oblivion Stone without the mana to activate on Michael's side. It's a very narrow card to have in the deck.
Kitchen Finks will attack. No real point in Michael blocking. The Finks comes back and immediately heals back to a 3-2.
Yep, that attack is free for Mize.
Michael to 16. Michael playing for the draw, Logan for the win now. We go to turn 3, it's Stones. Speaking of Stone, an Oblivion Stone should be enough to seal this one up if Michael can find it. He'll try with Ancient Stirrings.
Very efficient card selection spell. Okay, well, how about this one?
Ugin the Spirit Dragon? Does he have a land? He sure does. Urza's Power Plant, Ugin. Okay, well, that's gonna... Logan no longer playing for the win. Ugin will exile everything. All of Logan's things, none of Michael's things. Thragtusk, Logan's down to 10.
If you're wondering at home whether or not Michael has a second Ugin in his 75, he unfortunately does not. If that were available, this attack down to 10 would mean on turn 5 there could be attack plus on Ugin, and second Ugin plus on that, potentially to kill Mize. That's not available here.
So is there any way he can deal more than 8 damage next turn?
Outside of combat, it's not looking like it.
Right, he has 5 with the Thragtusk, 3 with the Ugin. We're on Logan's last turn here.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah, he's going to draw a card. There's the Viscera Seer he wanted. He'll cast that. Pass. Last turn of the match goes to Michael Stone. Does not have a second Ugin. He's very close. He has a second Thragtusk.
Last call to sign up for today's
That one's just not going to do it.
If you are wanting to play in this event,
Ugin will shoot down Viscera Seer. Logan scries.
again, this is the last call for today's 4 p.m.
Tusk will put Logan to 5, but that will be the conclusion of the match. No player winning here. You see Michael showing another Thragtusk. He has a strong board, but unable to win inside the constraints of time.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, you know, you might be like, okay, well, you don't award a win here. Logan certainly was playing in such a way as to not play around anything and attempt to win in turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's, so it is a draw between the two players.
Never really the way it's very anticlimactic end for a match. Unfortunate. Logan may have correctly identified that this is a bad matchup for him. It certainly looks like when those haymakers come online.
Yeah. And it'll be a draw. Both players go to 4-0-1.